Have you ever wondered if it's possible to visit the afterlife without actually dying? The saying goes that you can only go to heaven or hell if you're dead. But this is not entirely true. You can indeed have a brief visit to the afterlife and meet your dead friends, relatives, and even meet God. Sounds good, right? But there is one catch. It's not exactly easy. Many who have returned have changed as individuals. Some even chose to take their own lives afterwards. Many lost their sanity, and only a small percentage of what remained what you can call sane after their journey. Even though they all refuse to describe what they saw, I'm different. I have been both heaven and hell several times in this article, and I'm going to describe the visit to hell meet some of your dead relatives that have sinned throughout the mortal lives. For the journey, you will as well need rounded individual that is strong mentally, otherwise you will not be able to cope what you have seen. Most importantly, you will need to have killed somebody at least once in your life before you try this. First, you head to your nearest church from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. on a Sunday night. If the door is locked, gain entry somehow. If impossible, then try the second closest church. Once inside, approach the altar and kneel down in a praying position. Then in the monotone voice repeat this following scripture clearly. Volo sistir terram ubadi dis secubit and dis soplia. De quod critic secundorium modum CB be aterium massiflumba repas abortius non crescent mutula mille passum ubri pax non est. If done correctly, you should be able to fall asleep instantly and wake up in your room. On the edge of your bed should be a piece of paper. On the piece of paper, there should be a link to the website. This link varies from person to person. Find an old computer with no frickin' internet connection or any means of communication to the outside world, as you don't want the most horrifying demons imaginable to know your location. Boot up your computer and load up an internet browser and enter the link. Despite the lack of internet connection, you should be directed to a black page with a hyperlink in the middle stating your name of date of death. Whatever you do not click on the hyperlink. Instead, save the page and view it on the HTML file in Notepad. Scroll down to the bottom of the document, and there should be an address. Make sure you write this down. Once you have finished on your computer, take it as far away as you can, destroy it, and never return to the church you visited again. A week after your visit, the address you wrote down should be an old and abandoned warehouse that has never been there before. Do not enter the building just yet, but instead knock on the door exactly 6 times. If any more or less, you'll be greeted by the devil himself, and you will be damned to a place far worse than hell. If all is well, an old man should open up the door and hands you a blank CD with the words Hell.exe written onto it. Run this on your other PC, willing to sacrifice with no inward or outward communication. On the CD, you should have 2 files, Diablo.jpg and Hell.exe. Do not fucking view the Diablo JPG. It will cause you to rip your eyes out. Don't worry, it does not have a thumbnail. Just run Hell.exe. Instantly, your monitor should start flickering with gruesome pictures of mutilated corpses on your dead relatives should flash quickly and on off your screen. Then a window should pop up with 2 buttons, one saying come and the other saying leave. Now this is your last chance to turn back. If you want to visit hell, then click come. If not, leave and you'll fall unconscious and wake up in your bedroom with no memory of Hell.exe. Even existence did and evolve evidence of its existence would be lost. If you chose come, the window will close the computer and spontaneously combust along with the CD. Do not leave the room that you're in. Just let the flames spread until the heat knocks you unconscious. You should wake up on a hospital bed in the dark room with no clothes on, Do not get out of bed. Just lay there for about 5 minutes. Two people should enter the room. I cannot not be any clearer on this. Just keep your eyes shut, and then when they approach your bed, if you look at them once, they'll rip you to pieces. They will discuss similar voices of how unfortunate your death was and describe it in complete detail. This applies to the date of death you found on the website. Cover your ears if you do not want to hear your own fate. Afterwards, they should leave the room. Hastily, wait about 10 minutes, then exit the room. Once you have exited the room, you should be in a very long corridor with the lights out. Start walking down the corridor. Once you've walked about 3 kilometers, all lights should be turned on. When this happens, run. Run as fast as you can down the corridor until you reach a fire escape door. Throw yourself through the door with full force and then slam the door shut behind you as soon as you burst through. You are now in limbo. Your surroundings should be a large desert-like wasteland. No signs of life. Search the vast emptiness for a sharp rock or cliff edge, something you could use to end your own life. As is in order to reach the gates of hell, you will need to kill yourself in limbo. Be cautious when exploring, even though this isn't the hell that our monsters are lurking about the caverns that will try to turn you into one of them. They are not as dangerous as the monsters you do encounter in hell. These are unpassed souls cast into the limbo, expel their entity, and endlessly exploring the endless dark cavern systems. Before killing yourself, you must remove your eyes from their sockets and deafen yourself somehow. You should only have the sense of touch, taste, and smell left. You cannot either see or hear hell. If you valued your sanity, that is. Don't worry. Once you return to the human world, you will have your senses back. When you wish to leave hell, simply shout Latin phrase as loud as you can, "Is non satis." I cannot give out any more instructions because I felt that I just give away some information. I'll be putting myself at risk, but if there is someone who recorded their findings, a man named Ian McGowan, he successfully went to hell and returned. Shortly after he returned, he was brutally murdered, most of his family, then hung himself. When they found his body, there was a possession note, and in this note, what describes in detail of what he actually saw. If you're reading this, then I have done the unforgivable. I killed the people I cared about most of all in the worst possible manner, but I did it to save them from a fate far worse than a painful death. Last week I tried to visit my dead father in hell. He was raging alcoholic that would come home from the pub and beat me and my mother. He died of liver disease when I was 13. I wanted to see him get what he deserved, and when I saw him in hell, something mortals should never experience in their lifetimes. After blinding, deafening, and then finally killing myself in that fucking wasteland, I woke up what felt like a furnace. It was so excruciating hot and I couldn't move. I began to hear voices in my head, and they all said the same thing. Help me. The voices were of many people I knew that died. The voices grew louder and louder, and my surroundings got hotter and hotter until everything had stopped. I then saw something that I cannot begin to describe. I saw every sin, acts of violence, greed, bloodlust, and gluttony played out all the same in my head. I felt the worst feeling of how I can describe it mechanically. I have never experienced that in my life. I felt as if nothing mattered anymore. That is when he arrived. Suddenly my sight returned, but all I could see was darkness. But then something appeared right in front of me. I cannot describe its appearance, but all I could say is that I knew this was the devil. He talked to me telepathically, not in any recognizable language. Somehow, he fully understood what he was saying. He told me the fate of the universe, and what I must do is my duty. I owe him my soul. 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 The rest of the page is unreadable and covered of what appears to be blood. Well, my pretties, that was, well, Hell.exe Creepypasta. My final thoughts on the story? Well, this one, it definitely went from 1 to 100 pretty quickly. I mean, I've seen a couple narrations of this story, so I thought maybe I should give this a go. While this story was pretty good, I definitely could say that it honestly just went from 1 to 100 pretty quickly, and it's a bit confusing. But in my honest opinion, I mean, with hell being a real place, I mean, I will get and I'll definitely say some people believe, that there is hell and some people don't. I mean, it really depends because it depends on everyone's religion. Like I'm a Christian myself, so do I believe there is a hell? Mm, That's probably what it is because since I believe there's heaven and I believe there's hell, so yeah, I do believe in hell because I'm a Christian, obviously. But honestly, I still thought this was a pretty interesting story. I mean, the grammar's good, sentence structure's good. I really do appreciate how well done this story is. And it's honestly a really well written story. I mean, I thought it was going to be like a game, but after reading this, I was surprised because the title of it kind of gives it a bit of a dead giveaway thinking it's a game because there's like always a lot of titles including .exe, which usually that's a cliche title because we've seen this like in a lot of, well, creepypastas, but this one, it seemed to be doing much better. And in a sense, it still is a pretty well made creepypasta. I mean, it may be not perfect, but it definitely represents a lot of great opportunity with this story. Now, let's just begin with, the fact that this Ian person killed himself after he went to hell, killed his family. I mean, he probably just did that out of fear, which is most likely the case. So, but at the same time, though, I mean, who the hell would do that? Like, kill themselves after they're going through something or doing something bad? I mean, well, if it's out of fear of being caught, then maybe that's a reason. But at the same time, though, I can't really guarantee. But other than that, I thought this was a pretty good story. I personally liked it. I thought it was well made in detail. It was flat out amazing. It's definitely a pretty good story. I'll leave a link in the description down below to this story, so any of you guys who want to go take a look at this story, you can. It is on the Creepypasta Wiki, so, and as I'm gonna say right now, to the author of the story, I can't seem to find out what your name is, so I'm gonna leave, well, this as anonymous for now. If I ever find out who the original author of this story is, I'll be sure to give the author proper credit once I find out who the original author is. But right now, I can't seem to say, who's the real author or whatever because I don't know who the real author of this story is. But I definitely have to say, it's still a pretty good story. I personally really enjoyed it. So I guess with that being the case and with that being said, it's a pretty good story. I personally liked it. It's a really well made creepypasta. I mean, yeah. Anyways, like I'm going to say, this is just simply my own personal opinion, and if you happen to disagree with me, that's perfectly fine too. We're all entitled to our own opinions in regards to these creepypastas. This is just simply my own personal thoughts. I give this story a 10 out of 10. It's a really well made story. It's definitely a pretty good one. I honestly could say this is like an older pasta, so I've never heard of this one, but it's still a pretty good story. So I can definitely say it's a pretty great story. So I guess with that being said and that being the case, what did you guys personally think of this creepypasta? Did you all enjoy it? Did you all not? Also, what you have done personally to help make this story a lot better, feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, I'm the Lion Queen. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video. And if you're new to my channel, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications when I upload so that way you guys will not miss an upload. And as always, I'm going to sit here and say right now that I will let you guys know that if you guys want to follow me on DeviantArt and follow me on Twitter. Links to those will be in the About page section of this channel. Also, be sure to subscribe to my backup channel known as Mr. Shigo, as link to that will also be in the About page section, so you can subscribe to that one if you haven't. So, I guess with that being said, and that being the case, I personally like this story. I highly recommend you check this one out. So I guess with that being said, I'll be seeing you guys all in the next video. Peace out, and like always, please roll the outro because I'm out.